Sorry, please, can you hear? Okay, please, can you hear me now? Should be able to hear me now. Okay, be able to hear me now. Okay, let's begin. Hello and welcome once again. I'm Confidence or Confidence, and I'll be explaining JavaScript in today's video. So I hope you are following me with your writing materials and you are ready to learn. So okay, before we begin, let's talk about JavaScript and why it's so important. So JavaScript is a programming language, as you know. HTML and CSS are not programming languages in that sense, but JavaScript helps you make your web page interactive. When you click a button, when you reload a page, when you submit a form, it's JavaScript that is going behind. It's JavaScript that is doing literally everything for you. So think of your HTML and CSS as a skeleton, your CSS as the style or the flesh on that skeleton, and JavaScript the neurons and the brain behind everything. So if you so how to add JavaScript? Let's actually start coding now. Okay, so I hope you can see both screens now. Okay, yeah, you can see both screens. If you have any questions, my DM is always free. So yesterday we were able to explain HTML. We talk about how doc type HTML is a declaration and tells you what type of document you are dealing with. HTML tag, let me minimize it, is like the entire web page entirely. This HTML tag encloses all your other tags, and language, these ones that are in red, we explained that they are called attributes. Attributes are like parameters or things that the tag can take. So inside our HTML tag, we explained that some tags have opening and closing tag. For example, this is the opening tag. Opening tag is something like this, the tag, then the closing tag is like this, exactly. So this is our HTML tag. Then inside the tags, we have the structure, which is the head that comes first. The head that contains your meta information. This one is read by Google once you upload your site on the internet. The title of our site, your name, let's say confidence stores. If we should save it, immediately we'll be able to see our results here. As you can see over here, confidence stores, where my cursor is. So we talked about the link, how you link your CSS externally. That this tag now, it doesn't have a closing tag, only an opening tag. It doesn't have a closing tag, just an opening tag, and it takes two attributes. Rel tells us what type of document it is, a style sheet, and href is referencing it, is picking it from that location. It is in our home directory here. So we just put the file like that. If it is inside a folder, it will be slash the name of the folder name, then slash your CSS. When we should save this, all our styling will disappear. Why? Because this does not exist. So all the styling will disappear. Such document does not exist. The document that is in a folder called folder name. So it is in the main storage, in the home place. So this is where it's going to be. We talked about how you add your body tag, how you add links here. This is a link. This href attribute is a link that actually redirects you, and this is what will show on your link. If you have any questions, you can always ask. And so we talked about adding images locally and through the internet. So adding images through the internet, you put the source, the link of the image that is on the internet, and you add the Google logo auth. Here you add for locally, you add it with the source of your image locally, you add it there. mm.png is a file that's inside our workspace here. So we just call it directly and give it an alternative name, which is design, which we used here. I hope you are still following. If you can hear me, just signify. Okay. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please signify. Okay. Thank you very much. And I hope you don't have, if you have any questions, you can always ask. Don't have, if you have questions, you can always ask. So let's continue. We talked about you had image locally and how you have attributes called the width attribute and the height attribute. Here we've given it the height of 290. If we give it a ridiculous amount like 1000, you can see how long the image is. So these are all the properties, and you can see the euphoria of actually coding and you seeing your results. Here you would learn how to code, and I promise I'll teach you everything I know. You will learn a lot. You will learn a lot. So God bless you as you follow me. Body tag, yes, we've discussed this, the body tag. We talked about how to add headers. Each one is the largest type of headers. You can see here, I am the largest. H2 and so on gets only smaller and even smaller. We talked about how you add table. The table can take a border attribute of 1. If you give it 2, we can see the results. The border has doubled. Let's try something ridiculous. Then you can see it's getting thicker and thicker. So you add this is how you add your table. You add the table head th, that is name of the tag. Then you add the td, the table data that goes into those heads. This one is for column 1 and column and table data for column 1, for column 2, for column 3. Save our work, you can see. So this is this is it all in our row, in our table. So we should copy this now. If you create another row once again and paste it here, you see the results. So it keeps going like that. You created another row, then you can add the data in it. So now we are going to go to JavaScript, which is the main business of the day. JavaScript. So just like CSS, there are ways of adding JavaScript. We talked about JavaScript is an actual programming language. So now we are programming. Remember when we learned about variables in the former class? If you are not in the former class, I'll quickly touch them, variables and all that. So we'll be going deeper in that. So to add, there are two ways of adding JavaScript. You can use the script tag, and here you add your JavaScript. So there are ways we call printing things to the console. The first thing, it's in Python, it's print, let's say hello world, yes, in Python, but this is wrong in JavaScript. So we use console.log is the code for you to log things in your console. So let's say we want to, I am learning. Once you save it and you go to your browser, press Ctrl Shift I, you would see in your console over here, console, where my console is, should be able to see it once we've run our script. Refresh. Sorry. Okay. Let me paste it here. I don't know why it's not running there. Hold on. Oh. So okay, that one is not currently working now. There's another way of adding things to your console. You can also use the alert tag. I am still learning. If you save it, you can see here. This is what alert is. So you've probably seen on some small websites or probably those scam websites, something like this, where you'll have a text show up on this part of the screen. So this is how they did it. This is the code with JavaScript. Trying to go about. You can also code in the console of your browser, inside your browser here. You can still code and it would run. It would run. Okay, so we can continue. So now I don't know why that didn't work now. It's supposed to print that to the console. Maybe because of it's not an external script. But let's continue either way. So now let's link it externally. So anytime we run our code or save it, it will always run. So in order for us not to get confused, comments in your code are things that are not being executed. I just want to briefly explain it. So now I want to comment this code. Comments are always green. They are all green. They are always green in your code. So that's control and forward slash. So we've commented this code just like this. So let's go. Second way of adding JavaScript. So using the script tag and source. This is with VS Code. If I want to do this, so if I want to do this manually, that would be script. Then you add the attribute. Come to the first tag, source. Press enter. Then where is our JavaScript? What do you want to name the file? Let's say we want to name the file. Okay, pressure. So let's say something. Okay, laptop. Just to show you that it can be anything you like. I explained in previous classes that your index.html has to be named index.html because it's the door to your website, it's the opening where you lead, where people enter your websites. When you are hosting your file on the back end, the the code on the back end, the people that are hosting your website, the services that are hosting your website will not look for they're not looking for one page, they are looking for index.html because it's assumed and the proper way for you to host your home web page. That is what they are expecting you to name that home page. So now the source of our script is laptop.js JavaScript. So let's come here and create that file by clicking on this button, new file, laptop.javascript, not Python, not Ruby, not Excel, as JavaScript. So now let's redo the same thing we did. Alert. So once we save it, you can see alert we are coding in python.js. So this is the importance generally. So this is how you also code for like when you are building very big websites. You need to like have a big and you will have a lot of codes and functions. It doesn't make any sense even for you as a programmer for your code to be messed up like this and all your script is going here. So we have to create an external script, JavaScript, and put it here where we code. So now let's explain variables in JavaScript. Let's explain variables in JavaScript. Okay, but you know what variables are? Variables are boxes that can store anything, store any type of information. We can say hold on, let Theophilus. Okay, B. Oh, sorry. Okay. That's what we call syntax error. So let's declare a variable called name. Let the name be. If we save it, we've created a variable called Theophilus. And now we can say, okay, alert, sorry, alert, my name is plus what we are about, plus the variable we created. So I hope you are following, plus name. So we just created the variable, and if we should save it, alert, my name is Theophilus. Congratulations, we just coded. This is what we called object-oriented programming. We created an object which is variable, and we've printed it to the console. Can you hear me? Are you still following? We are 34 minutes into the class. Can you hear me? Or am I talking to myself? Can you hear me? So we can now create. I hope do you understand? If you have any questions, you always feel free to ask. We can always create um always conduct mathematical operations also with JavaScript. So now we've created a variable called name. What type of variable is this? A string. We explain string. String is anything letters to numbers and so on. It is a string. So you can even hover your mouse here, you'll see that what we are dealing with is a string. So we say let age or let his height be equals to 4 feet, and save it. It's going to run that, and now let's add it. Okay, plus height is height. So now we've added it here, according here, and my height is 4 feet. So I hope you are following. My height is 4 feet. So now we've created variables, we've given a variable name. This one is also a string because of the feet we've added. If I remove this feet and we save it, you would see that our height variable, okay, sorry, is a string because of we used inverted comma. If we should leave it with just a number, you would see that our it is now a number or an integer. Preferably we call it integers in JavaScript. So in English, when you finish a sentence, you add full stop, right? It's here in programming. When you finish a sentence, you add semicolon. in JavaScript. That is how the language works. That's how the language works. You add a semicolon. So now we've added semicolon. So how would this help you? Let's say you want to declare the name of a user, or you are fetching a name from the database. This is how it would really help you, in the sense that you can create variables and pass information from one page to another very, 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 very quickly. So now let's continue. And I want to use, how do you select elements in JavaScript? So selecting elements in JavaScript, with our file that we've coded, we created, hold on. So you can still create. So now, for us to do something with our index.html that we have created, our index file, we have to select it or pick it in JavaScript. And how do we pick it? There are two ways, there are many ways about it. This paragraph that we've created, this is the closing tag of the paragraph. I hope you are following. Let's add a comment. Paragraph tag. This is the paragraph that we've created. So now let's call this paragraph, let's pick it and do something with it in JavaScript. So this paragraph, we've given it an ID of US here. So now to call it in, this thing is really disturbing us. Let's make it a comment. Control, let me make that the comment. Control plus this gives you comment, gives you a comment, gives you a comment. So gives you a comment. So okay, let's continue. Can you hear me? So okay, we are back. Hope you can hear me now. So I was explaining how you can pick variables in JavaScript. How do you pick variables in JavaScript? So this our code here. ID I am Priscilla. And call it in JavaScript. Checking the analytics here. So whenever you want to declare a variable that will not change, what would you call that variable? Of course, you would say the variable is constant, right? So in programming language, we don't write constant, we write const, short for constant. So, for example, constant gravity is 9.8 meter per second square as a constant.